Hello everybody, we got another week, another rental car review. So we're skipping this guy. We're definitely skipping this guy. And we're stopping at this guy. This 2021 Nissan Versa. My another enterprise rental car. I'm surprised that so far I haven't rented the same car more than once. So it all started with Chevy Spark. Then it proceeded with the Volkswagen Jetta, which I actually enjoyed. And this is my third rental car, 2021 Nissan Versa. Got this key, which they've used this thing for probably for the last 15 years. I've seen the same key, which is okay. I mean, it's functional, I guess. But let's take a look. So this color is nice. Dark blue type of deal. I'm sure it has a super fancy name, but I just call it a dark blue. Well, we are not in Kansas, but we are. And I don't know what this SN means. And it's not a sticker too, so it's interesting how we do in Illinois, we do stickers. Here it just says permanent. Yeah, okay. So if somebody tells me, if you're from Kansas, what does this SN means, I would be interested to know. So check this out. So this is their compact car. So I went with economy car. I had a standard size car, and now this is a compact car, which is interesting because the Nissan Versa is the cheapest and the smallest Nissan that they sell, at least in North America. All right, in any case, it's got, for some reason, a lot of bird crap on it. And it rained really heavily. I was actually waiting for the rain to stop to film this. But what do we have here? We have rims. So it's an SV. Oh, I should have started with that. It's an SV trim, so it's the second one from the top. They have an SR too, but they're all the same. They're all powered by the same engine, 1.6 liter. Look at this peel here. What am I peeling? Well, okay, nothing. It has absolutely nothing. In any case, it's got only 12,000 miles, so tires are in pretty good shape. And you know, overall, it's not bad. I mean, it looks okay. I do prefer the Ford Fusion, actually, how it looks, but I know we're talking different cars. It's got some chrome. I think it's got some sort of a cover for the tow hook. It's interesting how, you know, I've noticed that Nissan recently, they changed their logo. So this used to be their logo, but now if you go on their website, they have like a thin little outline of the circle. I'll show it to you. So it's kind of interesting how, you know, maybe they'll change the logos on their cars. But overall, I think it's a pretty handsome car. I am a former 2003 Nissan Sentra owner that I told you guys in some previous movies in some previous videos. Yeah, I'm not movie maker yet. So, you know, I like it. Interesting little designs here, and I like how these are on doors instead of here. So, you know, this is very average. This is not. So let's also take a look up front here. This, you know, it's okay. I mean, you can push some of this stuff in, but I mean, overall quality so far, at least on the outside, looks attractive. This is interesting. How look how ginormous the driver's side wiper is, and look how teeny bitty one here. So I know they kind of have to do this for the most coverage, but this is so interesting. Also interesting is how this area is designed, where, you know, the crap keeps falling in there, but you know, when it's not my car, I don't really have to worry about it. All right, well, no sunroof, of course. All right, well, overall, I think as far as the outside goes, it looks fine. I like it. This is interesting here. So it's got a backup camera. It is a 2021 model, but it also has backup sensors. I don't think I've seen that before on a modern car, like especially on a small car like this. Now I know it's an SV, so it's got some options on it. But yeah, that's so weird how it would have a camera and a backup sensor. I haven't like backed into anything yet, so I don't know how it beeps. All right, so let's jump inside. So the interesting thing is, it's got one of these keys which would make you believe that it, oh, you know what, I don't think I locked it. All right, let's check this out. So I wonder though, is it a smart key? Yeah, you see? Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. Even though it has one of these keys, there's no button or anything to press. So in order for me to unlock it, actually, is pushing on this. And then it unlocks. So I went to the store earlier. So, all right, now, before we go in, I do want to let you know, it's because it is a rental car. Somebody did smoke some cigars in it, and the rental person did tell me that. And it looks like they put them out in here because there's no ashtray anywhere. So I do love the smell of cigars, of like pipe tobacco / cigars. So I'm gonna get a little buzz. All right. Oh. All right. So get some gauges. Now it does play some interesting graphic here on that little left screen when you start the car, so we'll do that shortly. So check this out. Even though the outside looks pretty good, on the inside I think they could have done a much better job. So first and foremost, you know, you do have some black plastic. That's normal, that's not a big deal. Have a little cloth padding here, okay, but look at this. They can't help themselves but to mold plastic in such a way where it's carbon fiber. Yeah, it's like, come on, don't do this. This is cheap. This is not necessary. Also, in a car that you can clearly see, let's see if I can open that door without hitting the car to the left. Look at this. Exposed styrofoam. So if you guys can see that right there, this is exposed styrofoam. It actually moves too when I push on it. You know, if you have exposed styrofoam that people can see, would you maybe worry about covering that up? Here, right there. Instead of worrying about how to make plastic look like anything but that. So that's kind of interesting. All right, it is really hot and humid today, so there you go. It's giving me a little graphic there. Put your foot on the brake, push the start button, which is for some reason here, and check out the little graphic that's gonna play. Look at that. It's got a Nissan Versa in there. Okay. All right, gotta get some AC going. Whew. It is really humid and hot today, and it rained, and it's probably gonna rain some more. All right, so behind the wheel, what do we see? First of all, when I first got into this car, I tried readjusting this vent, which would make me believe that it should like spin around. It doesn't. I do think somebody spilled something in it, because this one can do just fine. Luckily, here, I could actually close it off to give myself more AC on this side. Yeah, luckily it's pointing in such a way where it actually blows like in my general direction, so it's pretty good. All the basic controls here, you know, nothing fancy. It's interesting how when you lock this, you can't really get out. So you do have to, you know, obviously do this, but you can't just pull on the handle and let yourself out. The driver's window is auto up and down, so that's kind of nice. The rest of them are just down and up, you know, manual. So this is interesting right here too. All right, you got a giant panel that's blank, which actually is squishy for some reason. Obviously these are some blank switch area, but that's the thing. I can only find one picture online that shows that there's some buttons in here on the top of the line model, which is the SR, which you don't get any more power, you don't get anything else. You get a 1.6 liter, I think 122 horsepower engine. But they do have some buttons here for like the collision avoidance system, some other like safety things, but there's only one picture that I could find. The rest of them, they all show this blank panel. So I don't know what kind of an option you need to get in order to get everything, or not to have this panel, but it is what it is. You have the hood release, which is right there for some reason, so we will pop this. The trunk release is here. It's nice. It's more nicely covered than on the Spark, but still kind of pokes through some cheap carpet. You do have some floor mats with Versa on it, so that's something. All right, so right up here, look, they give you a flat bottom steering wheel. Okay, so I'll take it. No leather here, just nothing. You do have some controls here for the screen, which we will cover, but also you have blank switches here too. So I did see that it is optional on, I think, the top of the line model to get the Distronic cruise control. So that's when the buttons are blank here. You do get some normal cruise control here, which looks like that does pop up there. We'll definitely be test driving it on the highway when I leave tomorrow. Here you have some basic, controls here for the display. So let's check this out. And I'm sorry for the glare. I don't know how to film this without the glare. All right. So by the way, you do have a normal speedometer here that goes up to 140. I don't think so, but we'll test it out. All right. Let's see. So you do get a digital tachometer. That's pretty good with mileage, 325 miles. So, all right. So let's check this out. So first of all, you do have the 4 directional controls here, and you do have some options here. So you have your tachometer, you have the audio stuff that will display, you have the miles per gallon stuff, which obviously we're not moving, so it's not showing anything. And then you have your average since I reset it. So I only drove this car, I think, like 3 miles or so since I reset it. So you can kind of see that. And you have settings, and this is the interesting part. There's a ton of settings in here. You can set everything from your, I don't even know what that is, VDC. Oh, like a stability control, like traction control. A lot of driver assistance here. Blind spot monitoring, emergency braking, parking aids, sonar. So yeah, wow. Yeah, so it does actually beep, so I'll test it out. Cross traffic alert. So as far as like the safety goes, I mean, for a little like $19,000 car, that's pretty impressive. Timer alert, low temperature alert, I don't know if that's needed. You can like change the display settings as far as like what things show, the welcome effect. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, so it's got a lot of interesting stuff. Tire pressure monitoring system, some other vehicle settings, turn indicator, wipers. So yeah, I mean, for a cheap car, it does give you maintenance reminders, clock, language. So yeah, I'm kind of impressed. Yeah, I mean, this is probably what I'm going to be using. Yeah, and it's got all the safety stuff. You can kind of see the blind spot monitor maybe in the window, in the mirror. Other than that, I mean, this middle display can show trip. Yeah, so here, so I drove 4.1 miles, and the guy at the rental car facility told me the gas is full. Well, you can see that in 4 miles, it already moved off the full mark. So I guess it wasn't full, but it's okay. 12,000 miles. Here's another interesting thing about this car. Right, so this, right, okay, so this is hard plastic. Okay, fine. I don't expect anything but that. But then once again, you have the carbon fiber right here. But then right next to it, you have the world's worst imitation leather with the world's worst imitation stitching. So this is all hard plastic, this is hard plastic, everything is hard plastic, which is fine, it is what it is. But they've molded stitch lines, and they've molded like a fold, like this is like 2 pieces of fine leather stitched together, but it's like the worst imitation I've ever seen. Like, don't even bother. Like, it's okay to make it a different color to stand out, but for God's sakes, like, don't make this into something that it's not. I mean, you're not fooling anybody. So I wonder in which design school they're like, well, we can't give them carbon fiber because it's a small compact economy whatever car that's sold throughout the world. By the way, it still has a stick shift as like the entry level, but we can give them this, or we can waste our efforts on making this plastic some weird squares to make it carbon fiber looking. Yeah, don't really know where that comes from. As far as this is concerned, let's see, what do we do? Menu, no, on. Okay, so it's got your standard. Let's see what kind of audio stuff. I haven't played with it yet. So source, all right, AM, XM. For some reason it's really like dim, but I mean, I turned the brightness with this little stick, which by the way is very reminiscent of like the 80s cars, but for some reason the display is pretty dim here. I mean, this one is nice and bright, but this one isn't. So AM, FM, Sirius XM, which I'm sure I don't have. Preview, yeah, I don't know how to film this. Yeah, it doesn't have the XM, but it does have the option. Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Okay, so I gotta connect. So this thing does connect via a USB port, and you can have an aux too. And all right, so we'll be bringing you that on the trip. Other than that, I mean, it does have the phone, so I already connected the phone. Pretty good. Info. What's the info for? System vehicle data transmission. What? Okay. Vehicle data transmission, recorded vehicle data to Nissan. Oh, okay, so I just signed up that my data from my driving will be transmission to to Nissan. Oh, maybe that's how I do it. Oh, okay, there you go. Let's crank that bad boy up. See, I didn't even see that button. Oh, so that's like the night mode, the auto mode. Okay, so there you go. Now you can kind of see it a little better. Bunch of settings here. Connections, phone, sound, clock, system voice, which I will never be using, camera, predictive course lines, display settings. Yeah, so here we go again. You have pretty bad view on the camera. I mean, the screen itself, this screen, even at the highest brightness, is not the most bright. Let's see, what if we do the contrast? And I know you guys probably can't see this a whole lot, but yeah, this screen kind of weird. It's angled in such a way where it just gets glare no matter what you do with it. All right, well, at least now I know that that can happen. All right, audio source, yeah, so AM, FM, all the stuff. Customize audio sources. What is that? Oh, okay, so you can like put stuff on a ribbon here. All right, so yeah, obviously I will be using the Android Play. All right, let's take a look here. It's already getting kind of long here. So I've seen that this thing can have automatic climate control and heated and cooled seats on, nope, heated, sorry, just heated seats on the higher trim level. I mean, these are fine. You have some textures here. Yeah, so this is the start stop button, so that's kind of weird how they put it here. I mean, there's clearly a thing in here for, you know, lesser trimmed cars. This is hilarious too. I accidentally pressed this button and it activated. So here, I'm going to put it in drive. You press this button and it activates the little S, which is the sport mode. But who in their right mind puts this button here? You know, what do you, why? It's almost like they were embarrassed. They're like, well, we need to give them a sport button because everybody does, but let's not make it obvious that it has it, so put it in there. And by the way, pressing it when it's in park does absolutely nothing. Yeah, the piano black stuff I'm not too convinced with either. It's got a nice cubby here. The one thing that drives me nuts in this car already, there's no armrest. I've seen pictures of this car with an armrest. It's obviously not here. I wanted to get a different car when I saw that, but they only had 2 of these Versas. So I didn't want like an SUV because that's really all they have. So that's gonna drive me nuts. Like, come on, people, give us a freaking armrest. Stop with the plastics. Or with this, give us something that I'll use every freaking moment of driving this car. It does have 2 more USB here, though. That's pretty interesting, I guess. Very productive. Yeah, so this is why rental cars should never have white interior of any kind. So obviously, I mean, the black doesn't do it a whole lot good, but obviously these little white things that are supposed to contrast with this is gonna be a problem for anybody to clean up, which they obviously won't. This is a weird choice. Like this just looks cheap. Like, seriously, why is this plastic? Like, this plastic doesn't match any other plastic anywhere else. But yeah, and then this also, my Nissan Sentra from 2003 had the same type of thing in the ceiling, so that one still has. So they haven't changed this part. And I think we used to have a 97 Sentra. I think it had the same thing in the ceiling too, so they haven't changed this in years. So where I'm sitting, so this is kind of interesting too, and I think I'm going to be wrapping it up. When I move the seat all the way back, I'm having a hard time reaching the gas pedal, so I got to actually move the seat a little bit further closer, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, but this is hilarious, the whole flat bottom. All right, let's look inside. Let's look at the trunk and the oh, look, got a nice giant warning. Alrighty. So surprisingly, in the back, it's not too bad. Look, I'm sitting behind myself. I'm 5'11". I have some room. Yeah, more carbon fiber. Okay, not bad. Looks like in the back it's a lot cleaner because less people use it. But nothing, like no armrest, no nothing, no sunroof obviously in this model. You have grab handle, so that's nice. And I don't know what that is, don't want to know. Okay, not bad. You don't get a map pocket here. You get a map pocket there, but you guys better than nothing. And you got this one weird cup holder. So, and it's square. So, what else? Oh, well, you do get a bottle or a can holder here. Okay, I'll take it. I do like the color. So, there's that. Yeah, and it's got a lot of bird crap on it. So here, trunk is decent. You got Versa, and you get, okay, spare with a jack. Okay, all right, not bad. No cargo net, not even a place to put it. You do have a Nissan, and obviously, like, I'm surprised that it has this type of material here too. So, you know, it's pretty cheap, but at least it's here with a little pull. All right, for emergency. All right, let's look under the hood. So it's got 122 horsepower, 1.6 liter. It actually sounds pretty quiet. All right. Obviously, no gas struts to hold this thing in place. I don't even know where the rod is, the prop. Oh, no, not here. Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah, no engine cover, like nothing. Wow. So, and that's the funny thing, like it has an SR version, which is exactly the same engine. It's all CVT stuff, so nothing major. So 122 horsepower, so we'll check it out how it goes on the highway. But yeah, it's nice and quiet. Got a tiny little coolant reservoir. Look at this, tiny little air intake and a filter there. So. And the tiniest of like the brake fluid stuff. All right. So there you have it, guys and girls. I'm gonna be spending a week with this bad boy. We'll see how it behaves in the next one. See ya.